Good afternoon. Welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you're doing well wherever you're watching me from. Today I want to talk to the Kenyan Gen Zs. And before I begin, I want to say, but first of all, this is for comedy purposes. So please subscribe and share and like this video. So I want to talk to the Kenyan Gen Zs. I want to say Kenyan Gen Zs back to the drawing board. Like you see now here, I have a pen. I have a pen here. I have a book, a notebook. Number one, the Kenyan Gen Zs, for those who have not been following, did a major demonstration that it was against the finance bill until they had to the government had to shape the finance bill, and the President William Samoei Ruto had to fire his whole cabinet, although he came again and returned. So it was a mixture of recycled and also new people. So that was the major mean for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Now that's what I'm saying. Back to the drawing board for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Kenyan Gen Zs. So what do you do? Number one, you need first of all to go back to your spaces. So write down, go back to your spaces. Go back to your spaces, isn't it? That's number one. Here I mean go back to the Twitter where you are doing it so well. Start discussing your issues. Go back to your neighborhood. Go back to your counties. Go back to those universities, colleges. Have open forums. Number two, your Twitter spaces should just be not be spaces for vetting your frustration. Should also be spaces for building. I suggest your Twitter spaces should be things like should be chamas. Twitter spaces with Gen Z should be like chamas, where together we start helping each other, contributing money together and start investing, isn't it? And also, that's two. Create chamas. So number two, I'm saying create chamas. I've written create chamas. I'm going to go through these things when I finish. Create chamas. Number three, document your talks. Document your talks. If you are in Twitter space, it's good, it's recorded, but start writing documents. Get among you people who can take minutes. I'm sure the young people of these days don't like writing the way I'm writing. It's called what? Document your talks and meetings, isn't it? Document your talks and meetings. That's number three. Number four, have Have a Gen Z day. Every week, Gen Z day. Gen Z day. What's a Gen Z day? Let's say in one day in the week, let's say on Sunday, because I'm sure a good number of you don't go to church. Even me when I was young, there was a time I also stopped going to church. It happens. You just have this consciousness of something. So have a Gen Z day. I suggest on a Sunday. So what we do on Sundays, the whole day you are in your Twitter spaces, you are in your groups, in your neighborhood, talking about issues that affect you, and you document them. Then number three, number five, you need to have leadership. In your committees, have your own leaders. At the national level, have your own leaders. And the reason I'm saying this is that the election is coming in 2027. You need people to represent you. Start identifying here people who can be advocating your issues. You should be having identify leaders. Let me write that one. Identify leaders. Remember, in one of my videos I said, if you're not at the table, you're the menu. And you have seen the ODM group pulled their first one on new Gen Zs. The government was wobbling, but the ODM people gave the government a lifeline. That's why they have powerful ministries. Minister for Treasury, Mining, those are powerful ministries. So identify leaders. Lastly, issues. What are the issues? come up with your issues. What are the issues that are affecting the young men and women? If it's unemployment, what are your suggestions? How do you solve the issue of unemployment? Police brutality. What are your suggestions on how to control police brutality in this country? Isn't it? If it's integrity, incompetence, poor leadership, how do you identify good leaders at the national level? Number 7, thinkers. The Gen Zs, you need thinkers. People like us, who may look at us, who say we were never on the streets. But us who were in the streets back in the day, when our age mates removed Kanu from power, the year 2002, people were in campus. I was at University of Nairobi. There were always demonstration. My peers would demonstrate about issues. Would eat tear gas. Me have eaten tear gas. So you see some people saying, "Oh, people are not in the street. Tear gas." Me have eaten tear gas. And I did not go looking for it. I just happened to be in a group of who are calling for some issues, who are demonstrating for their rights at the university, and ended up eating tear gas with my fellow colleagues. And then I saw that thing is, we never knew those things of Colgate. I ate tear gas. I was just passing, but my colleagues were demonstrating, and the police decided all of us were nuisance. So I ate tear gas. So all these things we have gone through, being harassed with police at night from college, I've been harassed. This city of Nairobi, I've worked with policemen, with my friend the whole night, because we were at the wrong place at the wrong time, and we were students. We worked the whole night with the police. So these are things that are normal to me. When I was in college, I would come out, and then when it was late, police will harass you. They ask you, unatoka happy. Those days they used to be like, unatoka happy, unaenda happy, and you are a young student from school, university. So these things are there. Even those days when I was in campus, the police would shoot colleagues. There's someone who were classmates with in primary. Police just shot him. It was a big demonstration, but it ended. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Back to the drawing board. Kenya Gen Zs need to go back to the drawing board, and this they need to do. I've listed down what they need to do. Number 1, go back to your spaces, street spaces, neighborhood, county level, university, colleges, jobless corners, and talk, discuss your issues. Create chamas. These street spaces of the Gen Z should be chamas, because billions will come. I'm sure of that. So that money will reach to you. Billions are going to come for the youth. That's what I'm telling you. Number 3, document your talks and meetings. What you are talking should just not be like hot air. Document it. Keep it in a document. One day, when there's a national dialogue convention, you'll give your views that are documented. Number 4, have a Gen Z day. Every week of the day, one day, you have a Gen Z day, even on a Sunday, where all young men across Kenya and women talk on Twitter spaces in their neighborhood, just talking about issues. So one day, like on a Sunday, should be a Gen Z day, where we discuss your issues, so that you're not forgotten. It should just not be demonstration. No. Every Sunday should be a Gen Z day, where you on Twitter, you are discussing your issues. You even call people who have fought for liberation of this country. Don't discard them. There are people who fought for major issues in this country. You know them. Like Professor Lumumba. They have been the forefront for development and human rights. Call them. Let them talk. Number 5, identify leaders. For now, should be identifying leaders, so that one day they can sit at the table and fight for your needs, for your interests. Identify leaders. Even they can run in the next election. You should identify them for now, slowly by slowly. Identify many of them. Have many leaders, even thousands, so that even if a few are compromised, others can stand. Yes. Then lastly, issues. What are your issues? By now, you should know the issues that are affecting you and their solutions. isn't it? Just don't talk like they used to talk when you were young. Have issues and solutions. Lastly, have thinkers. Someone can be a Gen X, a boomer, but they can be think. There are people who can think for your movement, give you serious ideas. Yes, that's what we do. So this is the Professor Maima Show. If you have liked what you have heard on this channel, please support me through the mobile M-Pesa plus 254 769 729 327. I repeat again, plus 254 769 729 327. And as I always say, Gwaheri ya kuonana, Gwaheri.